Hello, family. Always glad to be here. My name is Gladys Nyaboro, your friend. Excited to be here with very powerful friends, close friends, people that we admire, who inspire us. I'm going to just mention the quick names here. Sister Mayan, I see you next to me on the screen. Welcome. Sister Gina Liva, beautiful having you here. Sister Myra, beautiful having you here. These are my two co-hosts, Mayan and Myra. And our brother Chris, we are so excited to have you back. So welcome. And our brother Madi, welcome. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward for a great chat interaction as a family here. We speak from our hearts. We don't have any notes, so I'm looking forward to a good discussion. Sister Mayan, welcome, and say a few words to our guests so that we can keep rolling.
Hello. It's so good. It's so good to have everybody here. I just want to say thank you so much because it's such a privilege that we have this big, I would call it the three timbers of ONPASSIVE. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you so much, Marty. Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Jean. It's so good to have you here. And this is our website. We call it OP Legacy Unveiled. Apparently, this is just to talk about what the essence of having been in ONPASSIVE and why we as affiliates and founders have have to be very ethical in doing what we have to do, and then being very honest and very authentic, in order to express yourself properly, so that everybody out there can also see the vision of what we are into. We all understand that ONPASSIVE on its own, it's amazing. We see that so well. And I know we've got the great timbers and cadlibers here that are going to tell us a lot more, So thank you very much, Sister Gladys. Thank you for having our brothers here and our sisters here. Thank you. So that's it. I will just end it there for now.
Thank you so much. Sister Mayan is always on fire. Let me just clarify a little bit. I think she's so excited. She said this is a website. It's the platform that we have the OP Legacy Unveiled. She went into details well, and you hear she's very strict about authenticity, speaking the truth. She's an attorney by profession, and that's why she's always hammering that all the time. And the timber part of it, that you are timpering on passive, she means the foundation. We the early affiliates, we
Yeah.
are like the ambassadors. We are the one who are testing actually the process. That's why we say we cannot compare ourselves with anybody. And I know I've heard that from our brothers, Mari, Chris. They have said that over and over, and that's where it comes. We are the first ones. So we are going to experience everything so that we will have a story to tell. Now to you, Sister Myra, also introduce yourself and say something to our viewers.
Well, thank you again. I think it's a beautiful picture what I see now in our OConnect. All our brothers and sisters, we together here again sharing another experience and another episode of ONPASSIVE Legacy Unveiled. Happy to be here. I appreciate it very much. Jenna Liva, Chris Johnson, Mari De Gamo, and you know how much I love you and care for you. And welcome to the audience as well. Thank you for watching us today.
Thank you so much, Sister Myra. And now we want to welcome our brother Chris first. I was going to say Jean, ladies first, but because we have our brother here who got us a little bit nervous a few days ago, we are blessed to have you back. We thank God for the gift of your life. And now we realize actually that we should be celebrating one another. And so I'm going to give you this chance to introduce yourself to our viewers.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's an honor and it's a privilege, especially my four beautiful sisters who I'm very proud of all of you for what you're doing. I'm sure Marty feels the same way. I'm just a humbled, average, ordinary guy. I like saying that because it's the truth. I don't think I'm bigger or better than anybody. Maybe my dog. That's about it. I'm bigger and better than my dog today because she got wet and I didn't. But I like comedy. I love ONPASSIVE, and I found a way that I can do both. How serious this company really is about helping people, and how great it's going to be to watch it all come together and watch people from all over the world have big smiles on their face instead of being upset or strained or stressed. Uh, I, that's what I can't wait to see. I'm a very patient person. Have I always been a patient person? No, I don't. I can honestly say I don't think I've always been real patient. And passive has taught me to be patient. And I say that because when you know something's that good that's coming out, not only for your family, but for the world, you should be patient because you want it done right. And that's what Ash Mufareh has taught me, that sometimes it takes a little longer to do things to make it right than just to rush it. So I'm not sure what you want to say. I am very thankful for being here. I don't bounce like I used to bounce. And I'm going to tell you this, that I've been sick a few times in the last couple of years. And what better place to get sick in with a family that prays together, stays together. And I've got so much love and compassion and prayers from people from all over the world who might not even believe in the same religion I do. And I didn't care because I felt it. And that's what I love about ONPASSIVE. We're all different. We're all unique in our own ways. Some are louder, some are quieter, but they're all great. I call everyone in ONPASSIVE leaders. We don't really have necessarily leadership as per se. We have a great CEO who has taught us all something, a little bit about everything in life, about patience, about business. And the only way to make the changes is actually do it. And he's allowed us to come along with him and make those changes. So I'm, for one, really ecstatic about that. So, Gladys, I don't know what else if I said it.
That's perfectly fine what you have said. And talking of, just a regular guy, interestingly, that's the expression, everybody gives. The funny thing is when we, as I had mentioned earlier, when that announcement was made to pray for you, that's when I realized how many people actually have connected to you. The first person who reached out to me even before I posted was from Kenya, asking me what happened to Brother Chris. And I'm like, what happened? I saw a message on Robin, so I went to check the message. That's how we are connected. And talk of a regular guy, I think one of the greatest videos you ever made, I think you were on a live and you were calling yourself a conductor. I remember laughing to pieces. It was so regular, so normal, but so easy to connect. And that's, as you said, we are all different. We come in different versions. There's only one Chris Johnson. There's only one Mayan. So we all come together, and coming together makes a beautiful family. So now to you, Sister Jean, introduce yourself.
Wait a minute. Before I do that, there's a gentleman that I completely forgot. I tried saying something. He is not here with us because he couldn't make it. I want to dedicate this just for you. I've not met you. I promise you I will meet you. And say his name, Gladys, because my went right out my windows.
Eric Betts from
Eric
Kenya.
Betts. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Dean, I apologize. Go ahead.
No, I'm so glad you stuck that in there because I was going to remind you. This is dedicated to Eric Bett for sure.
Oh.
Eric, we wish you could be here with us. Next time. Thank you so much, Gladys, Maya, and Myra. Of course, I'm so excited to be here with these two wonderful gentlemen who I love dearly and admire greatly. Chris was talking about how we're all different, and the thing that I love most about ONPASSIVE is that it's a platform where we can all be ourselves, our different selves, loud and fast, quiet and slow, and everything in between. And my background was in the arts, and then I went into the corporate world to get some balance, financially, to support myself, my family. But then it ended up being a dead end road, just pretty much a ball and chain where I could never really grow, and certainly not in the arts or in a creative way. So when I was introduced to ONPASSIVE, it was just like, oh my gosh, in my lifetime, something I never imagined was going to be able to happen. I get to be myself. I get to pursue these creative things, and I can then give back in this this big way that I think all of us have felt called to do, to give back to humanity in a really big way, in our own way, in our own style. And I think the gratitude and humility I feel that I get to be here and know that this is really going to happen. It's not just something I've dreamed of since I was a child. It's something that's actually happening right before our eyes. And I think it's so exciting. And I said in a recent meeting that the thing about the people joining in, the inventors, the brains, the creators that are joining us, I feel like that's the part I feel like that's what I want to be involved in. That's what I want to put my energy towards, is those people coming together in whatever small way I can participate, input, or just listening, or just staying engaged with it, because I feel like that is how the world's going to change. And I feel that's what led me to this incredible company. And I don't want to talk too much because we've got Marty here, but I just wanted to say that we are so, like, we keep saying it, but I feel so incredibly like I won the lottery, like again and again and again. And I get to meet all of you wonderful people, and I'm getting to know you more and more every day. And you all probably got to know a little bit more of me than you wanted to last night if you were on Let's O with Oron. I shared a little bit of my weirdness, but I love that I can do that. And I feel like you're not going to judge me, or you might judge me, but you'll still love me. Right? But
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me. I love you all. Thanks, Gladys.
Thank you so much, Sister Jean. We always appreciate you so much. You are one unique person who has the gift of speaking, and not only just talking, but connecting when you speak. So it's really nice to have you here. And now our brother Mari, our global brother Skipper, the two of you, we are proud of you, and we appreciate that. It's different to be in a position where you are, but it's also, yes, I love that. It's also another thing to be able to stay that humble and be able to reach, where people's needs are, to meet people where they are, and to make yourself available in that category. So I would like you to introduce yourself and also share a little bit of what you think, especially where we are. And your story, I know, is long, it's beautiful, needs to be heard on how you came to ONPASSIVE, but we'll come to that the second time. So welcome.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. And Mr. Betts, this is dedicated to you. The women said, you are definitely a diamond in the rough. That means you are. I know them, so I know they never lie. So one day we will meet. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on here. I know all you women. I don't know man, I think it's right as well. But with that glow you have, I'm going to wear sunglasses next time because you're bright. No, I am very happy to be here. I've met all of you. I met Jean and Myra and Gladys in different webinars and all that. Where we are right now, and for me, I've been looking for something like this my whole life. I didn't know I was looking for ONPASSIVE until ONPASSIVE came. I'm searching for something. I was looking for something that's bigger than me, bigger than one person, and there's nothing bigger than ONPASSIVE. So I've been blessed. I'm blessed to be around many good-hearted people like all of you. This is what I want. This is what I've been looking for. I wound up on disability 20 years ago, and I traveled the world. I met many, many people. I thought, wow, I hit my goal at 40, and in reality, this is so much bigger than that. So I thank God every day. And like you said, you don't need a script. If you're talking about your children, you don't need a script. If you're talking about something you love, you don't need a piece of paper to read off of. People say, I don't know, you're thinking what to say. I love ONPASSIVE. I love the people on ONPASSIVE. I love Mr. Mufareh. I've never seen anything like this. I believe if I'm lucky enough, I know 1%, maybe 3% of what's going on. And that already overwhelms me. I can't imagine the other 97%. And what I try to do along with Chris I want to help people if I can. I want to inspire people to dream beyond themselves, because this platform is for you to be 100%. The company didn't make any of us, but the company made a platform where you feel comfortable enough to be you. I remember as a little kid, everything was possible. I could be a fireman. I'm going to go to the moon. I'm all these things. And the older you get, that little thing just gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And eventually you're in about a quarter of an acre in your life. You live and breathe in a 20-mile radius and you die. ONPASSIVE knocked down all those fences. It drained the ocean. Now I have family all over the world. I don't think there's a state, a country, or anywhere that I could go that there wouldn't be family members there. And that's powerful. I mean, the company's powerful with their products and all that. I get it. They're going to be number one in the world. There's no doubt about it. But the priceless part of ONPASSIVE are the people. And you can ask Ash. He believes that. He told me that. We've become one big family. Yes, we got a couple bad kids, okay? But, you know, you scold them and put them back in place. We do have some bad kids. I mean, and they drive me insane. We got some people that can't walk right. They fall down and break their ribs, stuff like that. But you still love them, okay? Don't laugh, Chris. It's really not good for your ribs. But no, I love the company. I love what it's about. I think the most fortunate thing we have is a lot of companies have backing, either CEOs or conglomerates or whatever. We have God. And he's truly the number one CEO in the world. He can't be beat. He won't be beat. And he went out in the weeds and found all these diamonds in the rough and said, I got a place for you. Just come on. Listen, the door knocked and we answered. I told somebody one day, you know, this opportunities like this come once in a lifetime, if you're lucky. But if you got so many padlocks on your door and so many chains, by the time you get it all undone, maybe the opportunity's gone. Don't be afraid of failing. Be afraid of not trying. And with ONPASSIVE, they do everything for us. We're all going to win. We're all going to be superheroes. This is what Ash wants. Ash built a system that he would have built for himself and scaled it up for 1 million people. That's mind-blowing. That's mind-blowing. And everything you see, the Burj Khalifa, the train station, Egypt now, all these signing up with different companies, all of these PhDs joining, they're joining for me. They're joining for you. When people come wrap their head around, when you see ONPASSIVE.com, that's Aliva.com. That's Gladys.com, Maya.com, Myra.com, Chris.com. Remember that. It's not, they don't need help building a brand. They're building our brand. And there's nobody in the world doing that. And I say to people, they're just looking and, oh, I'm not sure. What do you have to lose? You can join right now. You don't spend a dime. You give you 3 products. If you don't like it, and this is the most evil thing you've ever seen, leave. But do yourself a favor, at least look. Because this changed my life. This made my life better because now I can do what I enjoy doing. I'm doing what I love. People say, oh, why do you do it? Why are you working so? It's not work. I wouldn't work this hard if I was working. I'm telling you. I'm doing it because I want to do it. I feel good about doing it. I get to meet people. I would have never met all of you if it wasn't for ONPASSIVE. I live in Mount Holly. I live in some small state, some town in New Jersey. We'd have never met. But God said, yeah, you're going to meet everybody there. You're going to meet this person, that person. And we'll have a role. I don't want people to be like me. I sometimes get mad at me. We don't need another Chris, God forbid. But everybody has a gift. And I just love the idea that Gina Leva is going to be 100% Gina Leva. Gladys, same thing. Myra, May. If you can do that. I met a lot of old people, 80, 85 years old, 90 years old. They had the years, but they never lived. They never lived. They never did their 100%. They sat back. I remember riding by my brother's buried in this big military cemetery, and I look at they're all the same size. There's thousands of them. And I thought, well, look at all the treasure that is buried here of unlived people. Not how many years, but what did they do? What chance? We have a chance to be part of something that's going to change the world. To me, that's priceless. And I think that's all I have right now.
Wow. Thank you so much. Great contribution, Brother Mighty. I think it's important when we hear this and hear it more often. Some people need to hear it 2, 3, 4 times and they get it. And some people will not just get it because they have said they don't want to get it. You know, we cannot force them. Now, coming to you, Brother Chris, I know you have shared your vision before in other meetings regarding ONPASSIVE and the hope that you have, especially in uplifting humanity. When you look at ONPASSIVE on a personal ground and also to the greater humanity, how do you think that ONPASSIVE will be able to reshape the legacy ONPASSIVE is building? How do you think it's going to change the world?
Well, first of all, let me say this: is without this platform, I can't even think about what I really want to do. But with this platform, just in my head, it's endless. It's endless possibilities. When you have this many people that stand together and believing in one thing, it's endless. First big project is to take care of homelessness, which, believe it or not, it's pretty simple to do. It's just going to take a little work and a little bit of money. And we have a lot of people that love to work, and we have a lot of people that's going to have a little bit of money. Let's put it that way. But it goes beyond that. We have not touched some of the poorest parts of the world. We have people there. But what we're going to do for them, for those kids, and I'll use Africa. There's parts in Africa that we've read about or we heard about, and we ask ourselves, in this day and age, we still have that? Why? Why do we have people still standing on the streets begging for food? Why do we have kids walking 5-6 miles to get dirty water that's going to kill them with diphtheria and everything that's in this water? Why? I talked about this a little bit ago, and it really bothers me is what did we do? As human beings, we had every possible chance to fix things, and I'm sorry, but we all failed the system. From governments just to people. Now, I have individuals that go out and do many things every single day to help people, and they know who they are, and I love them for it. And when they first heard about OBless as a learning tool, a way to fix things, not just give things to people. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe OBless will be giving some things to people that really, really need it, but we're going to turn around and teach them how do we never let that happen, what happened to you again. And those are the people who are going to be our greatest teachers. Taking the individuals that are already out there walking around, helping people, and they have nothing, those are the silent heroes. Those are the people. I don't ever want to be a hero. I just want to be part of that system that helped individuals out. You never have to say my name ever. All I know is I'm walking down the street and I come into a city and I don't see one person standing on a corner with a sign saying work for food or anything. That I know that we're doing our job right, because that's what it's about. Ash Mufareh is the only person that I know on this earth right now, all right, that said we're going to change things one person at a time. We're going to change things with many people at a time. It might not be all fixed today, but tomorrow and the next day, we're going to keep plugging along at it. So as we fix things, more problems are going to come up. And I truly believe with Ash Mufareh, he's by all means, he's a genius, and I think he's a genius. But he's also surrounded himself with people that are really, really smart. Some of the people that they're onboarding right now. And those people aren't just talking about making money. They're talking, how can we change? How can we help change humanity for the better? Because it needs it. This world right now, to me, is in a bad, bad state of mind, no matter where you live. Even though we might have some happy moments, there's so many sad things that's going on in this world right now that it just turns my stomach. We don't need wars. We don't need evil people. And I think there's a place for everyone. And I think for the first time in history, you're going to watch the goodness overshadow the evil. We won't have to talk about those people anymore. And that's what passive for me is. It's not, hey, look at me. It's about, hey, look at us. Look what this company did with all the people of every. I mean, look at us. Whoever's watching this right now, do all of us look the same? All right, these are my brothers and sisters. Do we look the same? No, we don't. But we all have the same heart and the same mindset. As we want to fix things. We don't want people to stress, strain. We don't want people to cry because they feel like they just can't take it. We definitely don't want people to commit suicide because they feel like that their rope is run out. ONPASSIVE's got the longest rope in the world, folks. It's got a blanket. It's got suitcases. It's got warm soup. It's got clean water. And that's what we're going to do. We're just going to separately, individually take care of like 5 different continents, one each individual in each continent that's going to grow 100, 200, 300,000 people. And those people are going to say, well, we don't want to live like this no more. Let's change it. Papua New Guinea, I use an example. But Africa, we have so much work to do in Africa. I think that's going to be our biggest wow. And when people see what ONPASSIVE is doing, what regular people are doing because they got tired of it, watch ONPASSIVE blow up. We don't really even have to say ONPASSIVE anymore. When it shows the world what we can actually do, everyone else is going to want to follow suit. I can promise you that. Back to you, Miss Gladys.
Thank you so much. Brother Chris is on fire for sure. And truly, we have the best of the example to follow from our own CEO. And to come, Sister Jean, I'm going to come to you on that same point of uplifting humanity. The legacy ONPASSIVE is building. Our brother mentioned something very important. It's not about having his name, and we have seen that from Mr. Ash Mufareh. It's about making the other person the hero. We have seen what he's doing for us. What do you have to say to that when you connect the ONPASSIVE legacy with the humility and changing lives?
Well, thank you so much, Gladys. Oh my gosh, Chris Johnson. Oh, that was so on point. That was just everything. It was like in my brain and out of your mouth, and in my brain and out of my mouth, and out of my heart and out of your mouth. I was like, you covered everything. I mean, the idea of each of us in my own little world, I'm going to just everywhere I go, leave that space a little better than I found it. Lift that person, help that person, clean that area, repair that playground, whatever it is, just in our own little worlds, and then expanding out in the ripple effect. And like Chris said, it doesn't have to have ONPASSIVE on it. It's just the love. It's got love in it, and the individual humans that are going to be doing these things. And then it just, like, I keep seeing that wave in a football stadium of everybody rising. There's just going to be this wave of good deeds and good action going across the planet, and again and again and again, until it gets cleaner and more beautiful and more robust, and just everybody being filled with more joy and freedom. And for me, the idea of people finally being free financially and time-wise, and all of the other things that hold them down, is that I feel personally that God put us on this earth with a unique spark that no one else has, and it has never been allowed to flourish. It's always been held down by the suppression of society and every other thing that we've all been living our whole lives. It's a rare person that lives a fully fulfilled and a creative life. It's really, really rare. And it usually takes a lot of money or some kind of sustenance in that way. So the idea that each of us is finally going to be able to express ourselves, then that natural tapestry, that beautiful woven blanket of humanity is going to be, it's going to just fill out with, I get all these images popping into my head. It's going to be completed like a paint by number, but not like a paint by number. Everything is going to fill in as it should be. And that's where the real joy comes in. And so it's even beyond just taking care of people's, everyday living needs, but freeing our human potential. So that's why I get so excited about the inventors, is that those guys are people that always had something inside them, and that was going to help humanity, but it never was able to get out there for 1,001 reasons. And so the Ashes made it possible for that. And then if you take artists, musicians, people that have some kind of way that they want to help their communities, they're going to be able to do that. And it's, it's hard to keep it all in your head. It's overwhelming. So I'm grateful to someone like Chris that was able to run that all out, all the different avenues that this is going to change across the planet, because it's just going to be, I personally feel it's going to happen faster than people imagine, because just the people on this panel right here are going to move and shake, you know, in our own little ways. And that's going to ripple out, and times 1 million, times 2 million, times 3 million, and 10 million, and on and on. And so, yeah, I am very, very excited about this. If for no other reason, even if you take the finances out of it, the rebirth of our hope in humanity, our belief in the goodness of mankind, because we see it every day, just the goodness of our family, our ONPASSIVE family, that is super healing. And I think we've needed that far more than money, personally. So anyway, that's just all I want to add to that. Chris, thank you so much for that. It was beautiful. Thank you, Gladys.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jean. I know you speak just like a cream. You know, I want to just get every single word that you are speaking. And thank you, Brother Chris, for bringing that point. You mentioned, and Jean, you have added about changing lives, you know, from our own little circle and then expanding. That brings me to Sister Myra. You are a good example, and Brother Chris, we saw how through that little action and mobilizing, how you were able to transform, along with the people who helped to transform a school in Rwanda, literally changing the lives of those children. Sister Myra here, you know, found one of the affiliates in Kenya. She's one hero that we are going to have on here soon. And she just started working with her, with the little that she has. And we have had hundreds and hundreds of girls having now meetings that go on. They get little bags with gifts when they come. She transformed a lady's life whose life was broken completely. There is a small health center running, helping just with that little action. Imagine when we come together. Sister Myra, out of that little that you have done and you have seen the impact, how do you think ONPASSIVE is going to change lives, the ONPASSIVE legacy?
Thank you, Sister Gladys. When I think about the little bit I do and the possibilities of a place, a single place and a single community to change so immensely and really transform their lives, I cannot compare it with what ONPASSIVE is going to do, because then I get goosebumps and I become immobilized by all the much that ONPASSIVE is going to bring to the community, not only to the community, but to the whole area and the whole Africa. ONPASSIVE is not only going to transform lives, it's going to rewrite history and we, you know, a new paradigm shift, if you will, because we cannot think of the money per se, because the money is actually the problem here, right? Like if I go back to what Chris was saying about, you know, the poverty and what's happening around the world is in chaos. And it's in chaos. And why is in chaos? I think we all know that. I think 8 billion people cannot really be controlled by 100 people, the elite, so to say, right? Because that's the word, I think, if I pronounce it well, Jean. You know, we need to work as individuals, and every individual working together and coming together in unity is the only way we're going to make a difference, right? And ONPASSIVE is going to be there because ONPASSIVE is going to be the money driven into our life and in our business and so you know, so forth and so on. And it's the truth. I mean, we cannot put the money away from the question, because we know money solves everything in this lifetime that we are now, right? It's all about money. Without money, we cannot feed someone. Without money, we cannot give them housing. Without money, we cannot improve ourselves, because we need to take courses and so on. And money is everything. Unfortunately, that's the way it was created from the beginning of history. So ONPASSIVE is really going to give us the solution, because ONPASSIVE is going to transform our life individually, and we as individuals are going to put in and do our effort individually, and then as a whole, we're really going to transform the lives of every country, every poor country around the world, you know. And this is what's so exciting and so fulfilling to me, you know. I cannot begin to tell you, because the world is in chaos, and that's the truth. And ONPASSIVE gives us all this hope and all these dreams and all the possibilities that everything can be done, you know, if we come together. Because yes, we can work individually, little by little, here and there, but if we don't come together as a whole, the change won't happen. And that's the truth, you know. This is what I think anyway. So I can go on and on, you know.
Thank you, Sister Myra, for that. I really love and I'm grateful for the panel that we have here. I thank God for each and every one of you, because we are literally coming from, you know, different perspectives, sharing minds, but you realize that the mission is one, the vision is one, the goal is one. And so we have this platform that will enable us to do this. Regarding what Sister Myra just said and putting together with everyone, I'm going to come back to you, Brother Madi, before I go to Sister Mayan. You mentioned something several months ago. It could be even more than a year, that some people have died without living, you know, just getting by. Life goes and they are gone. So I'm coming to you, Brother Madi. According to the ONPASSIVE legacy that is being built, how you see it, how will people be able to live while they are breathing here in this world and not just living, you know, getting by and just going without living? In terms of owning a business, how easy is it to own a business in ONPASSIVE? You're muted.
I had the music. Shorty's playing a game. Yeah, I believe everybody has it within them. Everybody we're all a tool in this toolbox that God put together, and we all are different tools. Somebody's a hammer, somebody's a screwdriver, but we all have that hidden thing that we have. But life has beat us down so far that not only do we always think it's somebody else. Well, they did it, and oh, that's them, and oh wow, look what they did. But the reality is, ONPASSIVE knocks down your walls and knocks down that fence that's surrounded around you. And I believe once you realize what you're in, living your full potential doesn't mean how many years on this world. It means what you did while you're here. Listen, nobody's going to remember how much money you have in the bank when you leave. Nobody's going to care. Mm-hmm. What you remember is what you've done for somebody else. What impact have you made for somebody else? Some of the richest people in the world passed away. Nobody knew who they were. They move on to somebody else. But if you can live your life to the fullest, your fullest, not my fullest, yours, where if you're fortunate enough you live 90 years old and you die and you have a smile on your face knowing you gave it everything you can, you left the world a little bit better than what you got here. I think that's a gift that everybody internally would love to do. But I know that when, I was telling the story about the pig farm, and my uncle had a pig farm, and he said, we're going to move the pigs to a new field. And that farm was surrounded by an electric fence that's only 2 foot high. And I said, what's the big deal? We take the fence down, we just tell them to go and push them and they'll go. But reality was, the poor pig was in that yard so long that he believes that wall's still there even when it's not. Which comes back to what you can do to people if you can get them to believe. I'll give you an example. When they took this fence down and we're walking them towards this new few acres, beautiful. It's all green. It's not all muddy and tore up. They would walk right up to where the fence was and stop dead. And they look at each other and they're looking back like, we can't go any further. I'm like, wow, the fence isn't even there. Why won't they go? And you walk up on them, they turn around and run behind you. Once one of the animals went over that that one step over, everybody else went with them. Roger Bannister, 4-minute mile. It was said by scientists, it's not humanly possible for a man or a woman to run under 4 minutes in a mile. Somebody forgot to tell Roger Bannister. And the day he did it, within a year or 2 years, thousands of people did it because they believe it's possible. ONPASSIVE is the possibility of living to your potential. That is so powerful. And once you realize that you can be all you can be, sounds like a Marines, it's powerful. And I know I'm seeing people with it starting to hit them. You know, you talked about the Bible, right? The Bible hasn't changed in 2,000 years. We go to church every Sunday and they read the same thing over and over and over and over. And they say, oh my gosh, what the reason that is, one day I hear something and I don't hear it. The one day I go, same verse I heard 400 times. That day, God said, this is for you. Listen. And I go, gosh, I never knew that. Now, there's no reason for me to say that. I've been to church 1,000 times. It's the same thing, but it's when that person's ready. But to be able to see people go past that fence, that imaginary thing where I don't belong over there. You ever notice people, that was what's wrong with MLM. They look up these people walking across stage, perfect man, perfect woman, check 6 feet long, $50,000. And everybody in the audience looks up and goes, wow, they're so lucky. They're special. They're not special. The system was rigged that way. Now what's going to happen is you're going to sit in the audience and somebody walks up there. They say, look what he's got. And you're going to say, yes, he's in business with me. And to be able to be able to go that step. That's why I tell people, you can have a passion in life. Maybe you were 12 years old. Maybe you were 16 years old. And you said to yourself, that's not going to happen. I'm done with it. ONPASSIVE makes it different. You can grab that dream and live that right now. I believe you can do whatever you want in ONPASSIVE and live it to the max. Live it to the max. You know, I was talking to Ash before about these PhDs that are coming in and these scientists and all this. And here's what he said. Many great ideas were put on the shelves because in corporate America, they didn't make money. Might be a great idea, but how much can we make? First thing corporate America sees. And Ash's comment was this: we're going to empty the shelf. We're going to bring them out because they will enhance mankind's life. I don't care what it costs. Wow. The cost is irrelevant to me. And the same thing goes with, because we keep telling ourselves, I can't, that's not me, I don't deserve it, you're 100% correct always. If you believe you can, you will. If you believe you can't, you already failed. With ONPASSIVE, that's gone. And we need to encourage people that you are number one Gladys in the world. You are number one. You don't have to be anybody else. You can be you 100%. When you find that out, when that hits you like it did me in ONPASSIVE, that's why I got a big mouth. That's why I'm talking every day on the live, because I said other people need to see what I see and feel what I feel. And once in a while you'll see it. You'll be in a webinar and somebody go, bink, that little sparkle, that diamond in the rough. They go, wait a minute, this is for me. I can do this. Maybe not on day one, maybe not on day two. It's like people tell me, I have all these people, I told them they don't want to get in. Listen, some people tell you no because they're afraid. That's all it is. They don't trust because they've been burnt so many times. When they're watching you a lot closer than you think. You know, plant the seed and move forward. Plant the seed and move forward. One day you'll look back and there'll be a whole field full of redwood trees reaching to the sky, because they're going to come. They're going to see it. They're watching. They're afraid. They're nervous. But ONPASSIVE is a platform of hope, dreams, unbelievable potential. And you know, I looked up, we have people starving. For $460 billion, you could end starvation in the world. To me, that's disgusting. That should be a piece of cake. but one person at a time, two people at a time, because I'll tell you what, negativity did very well at spreading across the world. But one drop of ONPASSIVE and goodness. Remember, one drop on a rock does nothing. Millions of them will cut through and make the Grand Canyon. ONPASSIVE is making the Grand Canyon in the world, and it's going to happen because you magnify positivity and you magnify the unlimited spirit of mankind. How do I know it's unlimited? God made it. You just need an avenue for that to happen. He saw Ash Mufareh and said, he will do what I need done. Not Morty DeGomo, not Fred, not Jerry, not Larry. There'll be good tools in this business, but he'll get it done no matter what happens. And look at what he's doing. Thank God. He's there because he's there. But does he focus on anybody's negativity? Never. He told me, when I find somebody, I automatically go to what their good part about them is. It's none of my business, their negativity. And negativity is a lie on both sides. Sometimes it's just a shield. Oh, that's a crazy thing. That's a scam. No, what they're really saying is I'm scared to death. I don't understand it. And I don't want to get hurt. So you move on. They're coming. That scripture from ONPASSIVE will hit them one day and they go, why didn't you tell me about this? And I go, I did. No, I mean, I see it now. I did. But what I love about ONPASSIVE, when I came in, there was 15,000 people. Now there's over 1 million. Let's say there's 700,000 founders. How powerful are we going to be when you set them free? When they have the positive, they have the money, which is, let's call money choice. They're given choices. And in your countries in Africa where a good-hearted person would never have a chance to get in government because they don't have the money. What happens if you give the money and the chance and the opportunity to a very intelligent, good-hearted African man, and he gets in power and gets rid of the corruption? That's where we're going to change the world. It doesn't happen overnight, but this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this wave coming in. And I push to say, where's the diamonds at? When I go to ask, we go on a webinar, no joke, the whole webinar, person come, they're a diamond. This person's this person's unbelievable. I do it all the time because I know he knows. And let me tell you something, once he knows you, he's like an elephant. I've never seen anybody that does not forget. He'll say, invite people to the webinar. Do you have a list? And he goes, no. Yeah. 20 minutes later, he sends me a list with 70 people on it. And he's got alphabetical order, who they are. I want the furniture. Okay. So I go through my whole list, but my list is the same. You want people there that are positive and all that. So no, we are very fortunate, and all I pray is everybody sees their potential and realizes they're on the platform of something that can have you finally live your life to the fullest. I don't care how many years. We have no control over that. Ash has no control over that. But if you can live an 80-year life in 20, damn, that's not a bad thing, because I've seen people die at 90 and never live. So anyway.
Wow. Awesome. Thank you so much, Brother Muddy, for that powerful input. We really appreciate. And this is just another, testimony of what ONPASSIVE is. And now I'm going to come to you, Sister Mayan. I know Brother Chris mentioned we have a lot of work to do around the world, and especially Africa. There's a lot of work, a lot of need too. Brother Muddy has mentioned the same thing, and we see how much is involved in Papua New Guinea, just to name a few places, but it has this connection also with the many leaders of African descent, trying also to understand from his perspective of the need. And he's well-traveled too. That's one thing I've never mentioned, but I've listened to your meetings before, and you are very well-traveled and you have good background. So that's good. When you are more exposed, you get to understand different cultures easy. Sister Mayan, regarding, you mentioned about hunger. Brother Chris mentioned about the hunger, and we know 2023, having children or families sleeping hungry is a shame. It doesn't matter which part of the world you come from. Not having clean water is a shame. And these are issues that, you know, being you are of African descent, how do you think the ONPASSIVE legacy is going to change lives or positively impact lives in that sense? You are muted, Sister.
Thank you very much, Sister Gladys, for that question. I think that's a very good question, you know, because Marty, Brother Marty has mentioned, you know, he talked about us all being a family, okay? And then he talked about the good children in the family and then the bad children in the family. You know, that to me resonated a great deal, you know, because when you look at what ONPASSIVE is doing, ONPASSIVE on its own makes the difference, just like you rightly said, you know, ONPASSIVE makes the difference. But when it comes to supporting those that are homeless, that are without water and food, and like you rightly asked, you know, it actually takes a mindset of, you know, of people being able to think positively in order to help. Because there are some people, even as we are today, there's some that are so very, very comfortable in, you know, very rich, yet they don't have anything to do with anybody else. You know, it's only for their family. But ONPASSIVE has brought this good unity, you know, good mindset. Because it's only if you are positive in your thinking, then you'll be able to understand what our brother and friend is trying to do here. You know, Mufareh, I've listened to him a great deal. I have listened to Marty, I've listened to Chris and to Jane, all of us here, you know, I've listened very attentively and seen that there is absolutely nothing that can happen, you know, positively unless we actually have that positive mind. It's only the positive mindset that can help this matter. Because like I rightly said, once we are faced with so many challenges, do not worry. You know, whether we are having issues, whether the corporate is having issues, there's nothing to worry about. Why? Because all we need to do is continue to demonstrate a very high level of integrity, uphold what we have, which is ONPASSIVE. ONPASSIVE here is for real. ONPASSIVE here is to help people. It's strictly, I love the AI of ONPASSIVE because it's so humanistic, you know. Even in the law society, where in the law, in the region of area of law, it's so helpful. You know, I have been able to see, I know it's not the ONPASSIVE one, but I've seen that AI is really doing a lot in the legal industry, you know, and to know that ONPASSIVE is also using AI in order to promote humanity, help us, help people. My God, I think we are in a very good position, you know. So the mindset of people, to be honest, is key. The mindset of people is key. And I know we will make it. For those of us that have decided, seen the vision of shared from God through our brother and friend Mufareh, we will make it. That's the way I see it.
Awesome.
We will be able to help the world.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Sister Mayan, for that. You really summarized it for us. It has been a pleasure having you all here. I know we can talk, we will never finish, but in order to respect everyone's time, I appreciate your contribution. We will welcome you back again. And next time we'll hopefully, our OConnect, we will be able to live stream so that we can have the audience with us. Today we decided to record as we've been doing. We did try actually to have a panel on last week, but we have to be more prepared for the panel to have interpreters because we had a brother come and speak Hindi and we did not have anyone on to interpret for us. So we don't want to expose ourselves to issues that we cannot be able to address immediately. So we are so grateful. And now I'm going to give Sister Myra to give you a vote of thanks so that we can be mindful. Unless any of you has something else to say, we be mindful of our viewers, especially those who are not able to watch the long recordings. Does any of you have anything to say? If you have an idea to say before Sister Myra closes, you're welcome.
I just want to say thank you for inviting me. I'm glad I came. This was a lot of fun. I got to meet Mayan. Is that how you say your name? Okay, I got another.
Yes, right.
I got another diamond to put in the book. I'm sorry. I say if I could find a diamond a day, I'm doing good.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you so much, Gladys.
I'm trying to trade Chris in, but nobody wants him, so I'll keep him. I'll keep him for a while. But anyway, thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Sister Jean. Anything you want to say before we finish? I love those balloons.
Just the gratitude I just shared like Marty did. It's such an honor to be here. What a great conversation. I mean, we're just in the best place on the planet, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you so much. And now, Brother Chris, final word.
Be good to yourself and be better to other people. How's that?
Oh, that's special. That's special. Awesome. I'll try to remember that all the time. And we don't take this for granted. Trust me, we know you are very humble. You don't want to be pampered with the title, leaders, blah, blah. We see you as our brothers. We see you as people who inspire us, as vision carriers who have seen what Mr. Ash Mufareh wants to do, and that we can resonate as a family. That's why we invited you here. We have a long list. So just, be on the lookout. If you come across this recording, be on the lookout. Sister Myra, you'll close the meeting for us.
Thank you. Well, thank you to our leaders, Mari De Carmo, Chris Johnson, and Gina Leiva for their presence and their perspective today. We are very grateful. Thanks everybody for watching and for your support. Remember to like and subscribe to our channels, Gladys Nyaboro, Mayan Asekuo, and Myra Aquino speaking here. Come back to another episode of ONPASSIVE Legacy Unveiled every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Enjoy your weekend and bye for now.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. We love you. I'm waiting for that. Bring it on.
You broke it. See? Not only did you broke. There you go. I'll do the other ones. Do the other ones. That one?
Yes.
Whoa.
Awesome. Wow.
No, do the next one.
I forgot. I got a new one we figured out. Watch this. Rain.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Down. Wow.
There's the thumbs up. Stick a thumb.
You know, it's hard to believe out of everybody in ONPASSIVE, he winds up with that. Oh,
No, there's a couple people that have it.
It has to be Chris Johnson.
Gotta be an Apple, Mac, and once you have it, it works.